Welcome. Tiny Hands, Big Dreams, here on the homestead in southern Ecuador. Welcome to the next house update. As you can see, it's slightly more housey. Let's see where we left off. We did beams on the last one. We were doing rafters. We were trying to get those finalized. We were talking about walls.
Thinking about it conceptually.
We were digging in some plumbing, digging some terracing in the back. And I said that there would be cute baby goats up on the hill. There is now cute baby goats up on the hill, and we have finished that and some more stuff. So, interestingly and importantly, I have not yet done a full accounting of the costs of the $3,000 house project. That is sort of a big deal. So I'm going to go through down to the penny, everything we've spent once we've done the full walk around, and I'll tell you exactly what everything cost. Where are we at with that? All right, so let's walk around and see all the, there's stuff. So, buried beneath me is our new sewer pipe. Well, that's not exciting. It is critically important. We don't want an exterior toilet in the house. That wasn't part of the cheapo build. Some people do that. They do an outhouse. And this is the second bathroom. Luxury. So it's a bit exposed here, but it goes up, heads that way. There's a toilet. There is a drain, that clean out that goes out the backside, and then it kicks over, and where it comes up that post, that's going to be a corner sink. Second bathroom. I've also buried a piece of freshwater pipe down in there, and it pops out, so we have water to the appliances. That's done. If we glance upwards, all of the beams are done and all of the rafters are in, front and back, all of them. I have covered them with plastic because we get such an intense UV light and then also sometimes intense rain for days. I didn't want anything to mold or go rotten. So I've simply strewn plastic all about it in little strips, which I've accounted for in the cost. And that is... all of the wood is nicely... I did sand the rafters. The only sanded things in here so far, but they're going to be visible at the end, so I wanted them nice and smooth and beautiful, so I'm protecting them from getting ugly. Let's see. We come over here. Chickens. If I look over here, we put in a little bit of just a quick retainer wall. This is Eli's room. That is an outdoor porch. There's no rear wall to that area. So this, we're just going to put some little posties in there and wattle and daub that. And that's just as potential water retention. Okay. All right, let's head this way. This has been deemed the worst workbench ever. They're also known as window frames. Interesting detail. Here, let me detail you on the window frames. So, to do this without using a ton of hardware or cuts, I simply put a wedge on them with this thing, which has really oddly become kind of an invaluable thing. I never thought I'd use it after doing some floorboards and trim years ago, but it's come in handy. I cut in wedges. This is a window frame. I can hang on this. It's ridiculously strong. It's really tight. These are bits of wood that I chainsaw cut. None of this was bought. So we've started to build out window frames. There's an upper frame as well. And then there's the little tiny posties to do the wattle and daub. But yeah, it's right now just a terrible 2 1/4, 2.5 inch workbench. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to let my lovely wife explain her lovely wall. So we're gonna swap out here. All right, switch.
No, you're doing this part. No, I'm behind the scenes.
Go.
What am I saying about it?
It's your wall.
It's your wall.
It's your wall. It's in the kitchen and you built it.
All right. What do you want me to say about it? It's Wattle and daub.
Chipmunk.
It's Wattle and daub.
There's not a lot of wattle and daub on the internet in the English, so...
No, we intend to do a larger video on exactly how to do it. It's pretty easy. Weave sticks, and you smash a mud mix. That's it.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's pretty sturdy so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, we can beat on that. Here, let's look at it's your sticks.
The sticks. The maze. What about Miss Sticks?
So let's see. The bottom we did what we call a tooth, and there's just a tiny bit of cement, and we dug it into the ground actually with the claw side of a hammer, about 3 inches. So the transitions of inside to outside are important. That's where bugs and water will get in. So because we're above and below the ground, that's our barrier.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you put in the intermediate post, I guess.
The intermediate post is the one in the center. I did a 1-inch hole at the top, and then I just put a little taper on the piece, and I jam it up in and hang it, and then I just cement around it at the bottom.
And then the sides of the posts get basically what is slightly too big to be a wattle. You use that, which is sort of our end stop.
Right, and I just nail those on.
So we're not wasting anything that way. It works really well. And then all of the wattle kind of fits around them pretty snug.
And it's really, really strong.
It's pretty strong all by itself.
Yeah, you could take an elephant attack to that thing. So
yeah,
and then the mud mix. Let's see, is clay, sand. We went with wood shavings for fiber.
Yeah, not wood chips, because that was our original plan. We're chips.
Grab a handful.
But instead, you make me.
Oh, I love it when you grab a handful.
You make me shavings.
So this was the process of making wood with the chainsaw. If you cut along the tree, not across the grain, it does these nice long fibery things, which are actually about the right size to be structural fibers.
Yeah, and then we add in the calcium
hydroxide, which is lime.
Depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah, and then we poke a bunch of holes just as hedging our bets to make sure the next layer. This is the structural layer. The next layer is the smoothing layer.
And this is also where we
want it to bond.
This is also where we put in the outlets.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me switch it.
Oh, that's your hand.
Now it's my hand.
It's just an outlet box. These are cheap, but we realize they kind of have to go on the wall because we have to kind of build up to the surface. The wire is actually going to poke, pokey, and then it'll run up this trough and get buried in the next coat. And then they're all going to run over to breaker box, probably in the mudroom. But we needed to get these in with it. But they're it's strong. Very strong. All right, what else have we done?
We've gathered a lot of wattle.
We've gathered a ton of...
And we need so much more.
They say wattle and daub is actually more labor intensive than a lot of other methods. Yes, I could have built 3 houses by now, finished, if I'd had like a bunch of lumber delivered. We don't have any dimensional lumber delivered. There's no ply. I mean, you can get plywood, but it's not local. Even 2x4s. No, you go to the local carpenter and you ask him to cut some pieces and they'll be sort of straight and sort of the right size. That's why we use like, oh, you're the right size for this. You're an intermediate post. You're an intermediate post. You're a big post. So we're using all natural stuff. It limits the amount of chainsawing that we have to do because cutting flat surfaces is just... It takes time and it wastes fuel. This is the shower.
Ooh, into the shower.
So the shower head's going to go here. This is the drain. This will get cut below the ground. There's going to be a trough down here. This is actually the entrance. And then this is some sort of beautiful designed step wall that I don't know about or understand, that my wife has a vision of. And she's going to do it, and it'll be great. And I really don't know what it is, but it'll be great. Anyway, so you get this is shower, and we have a toilet and a sink eventually, and then the door actually sits here at an angle, and yeah, We're getting there. We're getting there. You did more on your rear terracing.
I don't know if I actually did more.
It stopped like here.
And then it rained a lot. And then I gave up. Oh, look at the baby goat.
Remember I said there'd be cute baby goats up there? We're going to get a close-up of the baby goats. So yeah, so the terracing is getting cut in.
I have a little bit more to do.
Yeah. It's getting there. We actually have 3 baby goats as of a day ago, 2 days ago.
Yesterday, yeah.
Those 2 and Little Moose, as he's been named. Long legs on that little guy. Huge ears, long legs, little head. Looks like a baby moose. Okay.
Anything else?
Well, let's...
It seems like we've been working a lot.
You know what? I'm going to include a bunch of... I took a bunch of video of us like actually doing work, building the wall. Let me roll some of the footage. And then I'll get to the accounting of what it all cost. This is the first handful of smooge going on our first wall. Smooge.
Smooth.
My beautiful wife is going to build this entire house with her gloved hands. Handful by handful. That's the beauty of wattle and daub. Although it is effectively way more labor than any other method, it's not a terribly, I don't know.
Technical?
Yeah, like it is possible to do in small pieces. It is possible to do even with dainty little arms and legs. In bits and pieces. There it is. All right, we'll check back. So, how much have we spent? What does it cost? Okay, numbers. We have a retaining wall. We had to build a retaining wall to have flat space for the house. That played in. The blocks, 35 cents each, $82 so far for all the blocks we've used in the house. We've used so far 8 bags of cement. That gets us to $64, $8 a piece. When we did the wall, there was screen that we put in here to help hold the wall. We bought rebar, $52.50 for all those. Gravel and sand. We had a whole truck delivered. It's like $80. We've been using it for paths and other things, but we've used a good chunk of it as sand for cement. I'm going to call that half of it, $40. Nails. I've used a small quantity of nails. All the rafters are pinned down. Those are $6.25 total for all the nails. Propane. We burn all the logs so that we have better protection against future rot. $12, which is roughly 4 tanks of propane. We're so far into 1 bag of cal for the wall, $6. Plumbing. All of the drain pipe that gets out to here, it doesn't go very far yet, but it goes through the house. It's got the traps, the corners, all that kind of stuff. We're at $87 for the plumbing of fresh water and drain. Outlet and switch boxes, so far we're up to $4. Let's see, what did I forget? Oh, I forgot to add in one thing. So where does that get me? $428.25. I have forgot I've probably spent $4 in wire. All the rafters and the beams are actually wired to the posts. I'm rating this at 80 plus miles an hour as a full side burst wind load. I don't want the roof to fly off like I see the neighbors do. I've wired everything down. $4. The plastic was accounted for. Let's see, plastic, staples to hold the plastic. It was $5 for all the plastic. It was $6 for the staples. But yeah, all the little strips of plastic that I've cut up. It's not a ton, but the little boxes of staples are $3 each, so they added up. I got those. Fuel, added in fuel for the chainsaw. I haven't really burnt up any parts on said chainsaw, and I already had the chainsaw, so I'm not counting the chainsaw. But I have burned a bunch of fuel. We're going to call that $10. That was included. So yeah, so $428 plus the what did I say?
Wire.
The wire. $428 plus that, $433. Oh no, it was $428 plus the things plus $531.25, which is $536. That's the official number. $536 is everything spent so far. I have $3,000 budgeted that I don't have to finish it. We actually have a zero budget at this point to finish the house, so we're doing a lot of mud and sticks. But the goal originally was $3,000, and we're going to have to come up with $3,000 somehow, somewhere, or $2,500 more in order to finish it. The roof's going to be about $1,000 to get a roof on it. And then there's all the other little stuff, wiring we have to buy breaker boxes, window screen. It'll add up. But that's where we're at. I think we're going to make it comfortably. There was a lot of questions. People were like, you can't build a house for that. I'm only at $535 plus a ton of labor. You should see the muscles on my wife. So there we go. That's the accounting. There we go. $3,000 house. Still on budget. Moving right along. Everything's working so far. Someone asked me how long it's going to last, and I'm like, wow, I started to try to figure it out, and I'm like, we've done wind loading and things, and we've done insect protection and moisture, this, I don't know. There's houses built like this that are 1,000 years old. Who's to say? Ask me in 30 years, I'll give you an accurate estimate of how long this little house will last. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. There will be more updates. Thanks for watching. See you for the next one. Here's a cute baby goat. Oh, that's you. That's the little girl. No name as of yet. Cool racing stripes. And then the boy, who, it's hard to tell from here, but he's actually much bigger than her. Like, he's way bigger. Yeah, they're what, a week old?
2 weeks.
2 weeks old? So soft and fluffy. And he's got his mama's wattles.
Oh, he's getting horny.
There we go. Cute baby goats.